What is going on, DDD fam? It's me, your boy Brennick, aka Drip, back with another updated Galaxy Eyes deck profile. I know I just recently updated this profile like a few weeks ago, but that was because I just wanted to get a profile for you guys because some of y'all were asking for an updated deck profile, and I didn't want to leave y'all hanging for a few more weeks because you asked, you shall receive, if I can do it, if I have access to the cards. I know a couple of you guys have asked for a couple of deck profiles, and I have not forgot about you. I am trying to work on the list and also learn the deck at the same time. Because if you know me and you've been around here for a while, you know I do not like to just push out profiles. I want to learn the deck, master the deck, in my own opinion, to my best of my abilities, and give out the best profile that I possibly can. Sorry. With this list, we got a special card that came out in Dawn of Majesty, which is my favorite set of the year, probably outside of the Mega 10 and all that. Looking forward. There was so many cards in that set that myself personally I cling to. So, and there's one card in particular that the toolbox that matches with this deck. It's ridiculous, the utility that it brings to this deck, and I'll dive more into that when we get to the deck profile. One thing I will say off the bat, if you guys don't mind, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that like button, and please hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. PayPal and Discord and everything is in a link below if you want to help support the channel. Again, to go with this deck, this list, I will say, I love this list. There's not a single thing I would change with this list. If you are new to the channel, I have been playing Galaxy Eyes for going on 3.5 years now, roundabout. I've played almost every build you could possibly think of. I even created a build a few, like 6-8 months ago, where I played Galaxy Eyes Dogmatica, which is still a really good deck. If you guys would like me to update that to the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, by all means, just ask me and I'll do so. But right now, as a pure build, this is, in my opinion, the best pure build. Everybody has their own builds and ratios that they feel is necessary. My personal opinion, this is the perfect build. You might not agree, but for me and the way I play the game and I want to approach the game, this is my perfect build, and there's nothing I would change about it. This deck works wonders. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this profile. Again, I'm in love with this deck. I have been ever since day one. So obviously, to start out, we got 3 ghosty boys because he's just a ghost. Because if he goes unchecked and he creeps up on your opponent, it's too late. By the time your opponent finds out, he's already there. It's a wrap. It's gone. Game over. And then we got his little brother. Came and helped us out a little bit. That's Afterglow. Afterglow, you don't need more than 2. 1 is just not enough because Called by the Grave is sadly a card, and even though we would never see it if we played it, God knows your opponent will see it. So you need 2. 3 is just too bricky. You run too many level 8s as it is with this deck, and you don't want to brick on them. And on top of that, the second one comes in clutch on the grind game. And then moving on with some more of the Galaxy cards, we got 2 Galaxy Knight. Ideally, this is what you want to be your normal summon. Granted, this deck doesn't even really need a normal summon, but if you have to normal summon, you want it to be him. Just simple as that. Moving on to more Galaxy starters. The best starter in the game probably for us, and that's Soldier. 3 Soldier, you have to have him. He's your main card, main piece you need. Then we got, I'm still running 2 Brave in this build. Brave, I feel his ability to manipulate his level is really nice for what I'm trying to achieve right now. So he found his place remaining at 2 in this list as well. And then I dropped Wizard down to 1 because we can just special him or recycle him if necessary. He is ideally going to be your secondary normal summon if you cannot get to what's your boy Knight. So but it's fine at 1. So technically you have 3 normal summons. But again, as I said, this deck doesn't need normal summons. It can just swarm the field and make its board by itself. And then the best card in the entire deck, and I know a lot of people don't like it and a lot of people don't run it, and that's Cleric. As long as I'm running this deck, and if there's no other means of recycle or helping you reestablish your board and grinding, I will always run this card. I will never cut this card. This card brings too much to the table for me to cut it, so I will never cut it. It's too good. It's like your turn 2, turn 3 card if your board gets broken that you want a normal summon. So technically you run 4 normal summons. So apologize when I last said 3. But that's it for the actual Galaxy itself lineup. On to the Photons. Photons is pretty standard at this point. We got 3 Orbital, because Orbital is Orbital. Zoom in a little bit. It's your best Rota you got, pretty much. He can prevent anything from being destroyed by battle when he's equipped to a monster. You tribute him off of the monster after you equip it to him to search, and helps you search your stuff. I wish we had a better searcher, but I mean, either way, Orbital is Orbital. And with this build, I did keep the same as my last build and keep Vanisher at 2. I love this card. If you know me and my profiles, I love running this card at 3. It's just right now, it's fine at 2 because you don't want to clog. I did keep Thrasher in here because you need the names for Brave, and I did keep the Advancer. Advancer actually comes up. I'm telling you guys, Advancer actually comes up when you need more extenders / different names. So that's actually it for my Galaxy and Photon lineup. On to extenders / hand traps. But again, I've been playing with this build for a while now before Dawn Majesty was released, and moving cards in and out, and I've been playing with this specific build for a while, and it's worked wonders. It's stupid powerful. I am still opting to run the 3 Veiler. Veiler's so good in this deck because it's a light and it negates, and you can pitch it off of Galaxy Soldier. So, yeah. And the new card that I opted to run in this deck, it's almost as if, like, I know a lot of decks can utilize it really well, but I really feel like this deck can utilize it so much better than others. Some others can. Yes, other decks can use it too, but it's like almost as if this should be a Galaxy Eyes card. And that is, if you haven't guessed it already, Iris Sword Soul. 2 is a perfect ratio, I think, so far for this deck, because hear me out. You are running Veilers, okay? So on top of running Veilers in this deck, if you see my previous list, I will go ahead and say we are still running Droplets. So on top of you running 5 ways to negate stuff to summon her, on top of not including whatever your opponent will have to negate your stuff. So here's the reason why this card is so good, outside of the fact that it's just good. 1, it's light, which means even if it is a dead card, you can pitch it off of Soldier. 2, it's a level 8, okay? Trade-in target. Overlay. You're spamming rank 8s as it is. And 3, you literally can pot of greed, draw 2 if you wanted to. Or if you summon this on your opponent's turn, you can, and you have Soul Flare, you can use Soul Flare to pop, and you can use this card to pop too. So you are also it's indirectly another Soul Flare pretty much, because you can pop a card too that's special summon from the extra deck. Or you can special summon a monster from your hand. Come on now. That's disgusting. That's so much utility for this deck. You draw 2 if you wanted to. You pop a card if you want to play overly aggressive to break boards and not even allow your opponent to establish a board at all. Because you're going to negate something with number 90. You're going to pop something with a Soul Flare. Then you can, if you wanted to, and you had your recovery fine, you could pop a card with this too. it's just nasty. It's so good. So good in this deck that it's unreal how good this card is in this deck. So I 100% agree. You need, I mean, we'll 100% say you need this card for this deck if you want to maximize the potential of this deck and the ceiling of this deck. This card is bonkers. Definitely when it's paired up with Valor, who actually negates, and Droplets, who actually negates. Because we run Droplets, for if you haven't seen my previous builds, because it helps us get our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons out of our hand, on top of negating and on top of just decreasing the opponent's attack points to help us OTK even more. Moving on to the spells, obviously, Sanctuary is Sanctuary, you need it. 2 trade-ins, you don't need 3, you're asking to brick. 1 is just not good enough. And then the card, originally I dropped the 1, but then I put back to 2 because I needed it. And that's Expedition. Until something else comes out that's more support, right now I'm going to probably keep this at 2 in the pure build. Then we got the obvious Forbidden Droplets that I mentioned before. Droplets is Droplets. It's a quick effect. Helps you get your Photon Dragons in Grave, so you can turbo your rank 8s out with your Knight and everything else. It's just an overall very good card, and it's very good in this deck. Moving on to our Power 1-ofs. Let me go ahead and get these out of the way, the bulky ones out of the way. Power 1-ofs is pretty much which is the rest of our deck. The card that a lot of people are like, Drip, why you run this at 1? And you're not getting nothing out of it at 1. Correction, I am getting a lot out of it at 1 because I'm telling you, when I need it, I see it. When I don't need it, I don't see it, so it's good where it's at. I would like to run it at 2, but I have no room, and that literally is Talents. Talents is ridiculously good in this deck because it's free, it's Pot of Greed. I can steal my opponent's card, which is really good against Dragoon, or if I have combo, I can rip a card out of their hand. So this card's utility, even at 1, is ridiculously good. I feel like this card's better at 1 than Called by the Grave is, because you never, majority of the time, you want to see Called by the Grave, you never see the damn thing. This card is so good. It's just so good. I cannot mention how good. I mean, I can't stress how good the card actually is. And then we got Rhoda for obviously because for obvious reasons, it's literally a 3rd copy of your Vanisher, 2nd copy of your Thrasher, and your Advancer, and so on and so forth. It's pretty much your extra copy, so it's why you don't need to run any more copies, because you have Rhoda to make sure you have that extra copy. And then I am still running the 0. The 0 comes up as an extender a lot. Definitely when you can resurrect your XZs in Grave and just overlay on top of them, and then you can attack and then make Zeus. So it's in the late game, it's a free Zeus pretty much. So it works out, and it's a good extender. And then we are running the 1 Trance, and then the last card in the deck I dropped to 1 is Hyper Galaxy. I was running 1 Expedition and 2 Hyper Galaxy, and then Hyper Galaxy began to clog, because if you want this card, you can go search it. I understand it's an interruption on your opponent's turn, and it can help you extend into a level 8 on top of that. I get that, but at the end of the day, the situation, it's a very situational card is what I'm trying to say. And on top of that, it's a very good card. Do I think it needs cut? No, it doesn't need cut. It's too good to be cut, because against rogue decks and meta decks who don't respect our deck will get punished by this card. It's just big boy boss monsters is pretty much unaffected by this card. So in that regard, that's why I say it's very situational. And you have to have the specific cards on field in order to tribute, because if you have this card in like Soul Flare and something like that, you're not going to want to tribute Soul Flare, not at least until you use Soul Flare's effect. You can't tribute Photon Dragon. That clause is really stupid, but it's whatever. So you would need an extra Vanisher or something on field or something to utilize this card to its full potential. So it's really only good if you get stopped in mid-combo and you have spare cards on the field you don't want, and you can use this as an interruption. So it's really good. But do I think it needs to be more of a 2 of? No. 3 of? Hell no. 1 of it's where it fits, because you can search it with Wizard if necessary. Moving on to the extra deck. The main deck is a clean 40. The extra deck is literally the same as my last build. If you see my last build, like I said before, the extra deck is perfect in my opinion until we get Dark Matter back, because Dark Matter needs to come back so we can Amorph-Edge Goliath and lock our opponent, because it's funny to see him squirm. But anyways, that's enough of that. We'll get him back eventually. Don't worry, guys. But right now, the extra deck is just perfect in my opinion. Nothing I would change at all. And that is 2 Soul Flare. Let me get him in frame, I'm sorry. 2 Soul Flare. 1 Ashima. Ashima took a place of our Union Carrier. Rest in peace. Then we got number 90. Then we got the Cypher package. Cypher himself. The card that made Cypher good again, because Cypher was meh before because it targeted, and they got it back at the end of the end phase, so it forced you to link with it or end the game. You can't even end the game because it locks you into like that one card. And then we got Cypher Blade, the pop. Then we got Mr. OTK himself. And then my favorite extra deck monster, because I just love the artwork, Full Armor. Then we got Mr. Protection, Big Middle Finger, Disguise Striker, because that deck's trash. And then Cyber Dragon Nova, Infinity. I run these two still because the utility from them two is really good. Definitely when you don't open, very optimal, and you can still end on Infinity, which is still nice. Then I do run the Hope Harbinger because, oddly enough, I've only summoned this card like twice using this deck, but when I summoned it, I needed it. I needed it. So do I think you should cut this card? Hell no. Do not cut this card. Because there will come a time where you will need this card, and then you don't have it in there, and you're like, damn, Drip was right, bro. I should have left that junk in there. And then the most free card in the entire deck, and if you are new to the channel, check out previous combo tutorials on this card, because I found a way you can loop your field and this card's effect to where it does not hurt you, and that is Zeus, the most free card in this deck. And it doesn't even hurt you. If you want to know how it hurts you, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section that you want to know how, if you cannot find it on the previous combo videos. If you want to see another combo about just explaining Zeus, let me know, and I'll see what I can do, and I'm sure I can make it happen for you guys if we get enough people to want it. But that is it for the extra deck. Clean 15, nothing I would change. The utility from this extra deck is bonkers. But yeah, this deck is so much fun. The artwork is beautiful on all the cards. That's one of the things that attracts me to some decks, is the artwork. And I don't know, man. Galaxy Eyes has just always held a special place in my heart ever since I got hooked to them. They've always been that deck that I always looked at out of the corner of my eye, like, I want to play it. Before, like 3 years ago, like 4 years ago. Because if you don't know me, you know I'm in love with Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is my favorite deck of all time. Always will be. And then literally sitting right next to it is literally Galaxy Eyes. Blue Eyes is the reason that got me into Galaxy Eyes. Fun fact. Because dragons are dragons, so self-explanatory. And then on top of, like I said before, the artwork and everything else, not only that too. Shout out to 3 Stacks too, man. He's another person that got me hooked to this deck, because watching his videos back in the day was the reason that it even got me like to check them out. Like I even found out about them, because if you don't really know my background, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh pretty much my whole life, but I stopped in like 2009 and I didn't even play that competitive. It was just more casual, and then I picked the game back up in 2017 and became competitive and just trying to absorb all the information I can, and strolled along a couple of his videos, liked how real of a person he was and not fake like some. So yeah, and he got me hooked to this deck. But yeah, man, This deck can be really powerful. It can play through a lot. It swarms really fast. If it goes unchecked, it can just swarm. Like I said, this deck, it swarms almost as fast as freaking pendulums sometimes, man. I'm not kidding. If you open really nutty. But again, guys, that is it for the main deck and extra deck. I know some of y'all are, again, if you are new, you don't know what I do with my side decks. I know some of y'all are going to, the reason why I say that is some of y'all are going to be like, Drip, where is the Tachyon Transmigration? That's too good of a card not to run. It is too good of a card not to run, but it is a bad enough card not to run in the main deck. I do not want to run that card in the main deck because there's too many situations where myself personally, I will need discard fodder for a soldier, and I won't want to get rid of the card that I have, and I'll have like a trap or something in my hand. That's specifically one of the reasons why I cut impermanence from this deck, which I would still like to eventually try to find a way to put impermanence back into this deck, because one, it negates, which helps fuel your Sword Soul. Which, fun fact, if you do not have access to droplets, which I still feel like the deck really needs droplets, impermanence will be the way to go. I would run 2 impermanence to 3 impermanence. 3 would be kind of bricky, but it's worth a shot because I understand, as of right now, the time of recording this video, Forbidden Droplets is a very expensive card. The reason being is because you need cards that negate the actual effect. You need to negate the actual effect, or Sword Soul can't be special. So like Ash Blossom won't work. Stuff like that won't work. You need actual negation that negates it. So that's why Veilers and the droplets actually negate, so you can summon her and go off. But again, sorry about the rambling there at the end. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of info and a little bit more of my thoughts, because you know how I am. I know I talk a lot, but I just want everything to be clear to you guys, and so you all are not confused, or you just know everything that goes through my head when it comes to some of these decks. But I do hope you guys appreciate it and like the video. Please don't forget to drop a like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. There's a lot of you guys that are still not subscribed. The analytics be making me cry and stay up late at night. So please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. I'm going to be trying to upload some more videos here recently. I've been kind of slacking because it's been kind of dull for me right now, because I haven't really had nothing I'd like to build, because some of the cards are really expensive. But I got some cards that I need to make a couple more deck profiles for you guys. There's like 3, I think, coming up, so be on the lookout for that. Discord in the description below if you want to become closer part of the DDD fam. We're all very chill, laid back people back down there. We like to help one another out. So if you're new to the game, new to Yu-Gi-Oh, new to Galaxy Eyes, new to whatever, need help building a deck that I'm not even making a profile on, by all means, if you feel free to jump down there, and we will do our best to help you out, because we are one big family. That's the environment that I want. That's the environment that we try to build, and that's the environment that we currently have. So go ahead and do that if you would like. But with that being said, you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this video. Hope you guys are staying safe out there in the age of COVID, and you all have a good day, afternoon. As I said already, I don't know why I'm talking in circles. Forgive me. I don't understand. But good dueling, guys. Your boy out. Drip. Peace.